These are the supplies you will need. And then the tools that are used. This is what your kit looks like. Take your small pieces and put in a tray or dish or something so that you don't lose all the little pieces. Then we're going to start by taking the canvas panel. We need to remove the cellophane. The easiest way is to take a scissors, just poke it into where the hole is, slide it across, and remove it. You need to do this to both panels. Then you're going to use your glue. It's provided in your kit. It's Nouveau glue. Apply it as you see, and then spread it with your finger. You can use a credit card, a palette knife, but it washes off easily off your finger. Then place your tissue paper on top and gently press it on. And set that panel aside. Then take your other panel and do the same thing. Make sure you notice which way is up. On the 3x3 panel, the holes that go all the way to the corner are at the top. On the 2x4 panel, the hole where there is 2 holes, that's the top. Again, spread the glue. Then take your tissue paper and place over the top and gently spread it on, working out any wrinkles. There will probably be a few small wrinkles. Don't worry about them, they'll be covered. Then trim some of your paper off. You don't need quite that much. Again, taking your glue, glue the edges, and then fold over the 2 opposite sides. Tuck the top edge and fold over. Again, tuck in a little bit, place your glue, and fold over. This panel was done the same way. Glue the edge, fold it over, do the opposite edge, fold over, tuck it, glue, and fold over. Same thing. Glue, tuck, and fold over. And then we'll set those pieces aside. Now take all your little parts. In your goodie bag you will find some ink and use that to ink your edges. This piece I didn't like the top of. It had that ruffled edge from where you tear something out, so I just trimmed that. Then inked and set aside. I like this little ink pad because it'll get in tight areas. You need to ink even the tiny pieces. Then using a black Sharpie, color your spool. You can use other markers also, possibly even a different color, but I liked the black to tie the black in with all the other pieces. Don't forget to color the bottom of the spool. Then set that aside. You can fussy cut the butterfly. It's up to you. You can either use the circle with the butterfly in it or fussy cut it. If you choose to fussy cut the butterfly, you will then need to ink the edges of the butterfly. And then set it aside. Now take your black cardstock and you will need to cut a square 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. You will also need a rectangle 1 inch by 3 1/4. Take your pattern square paper, put adhesive on the back, and attach it centered on your black square. Take your large tag, apply adhesive, and adhere it to your rectangle down about the same distance so that the same distance shows of the black. Then take your small tag and using dimensionals, go ahead and attach that to the large tag, again having a little bit of the black showing out the bottom. Then I put dimensionals on the heart, and that's going to be placed on the tag. We're going to not do that quite yet, but we're just kind of looking at what things look like. The flowers you need to pull apart. There's some outside paper on your flowers. That would be too big to go through the hole of the spool. So put some glue into the hole of the spool. And put the stems through the hole. Your stems will come out the bottom. You can fluff your flowers a bit to see where you're going to like how high you want them above the top of the spool. Then trim their stems. And then we'll set that aside to dry. Take this piece and put adhesive on the back, and then it gets centered on the 2x4 panel. To find your holes, you can kind of press your finger on it and you'll be able to find them. Then using a piercer, poke through. Then you take a ring and twist the ring apart. It works better than pulling apart. And these will go in the 2 top holes. And then twist back closed. So take your ring, twist it to open it up, put through the hole, and twist it shut. Now to do the heart, you're going to take a ring, twist, put through the heart, close. Take your brad, open your brad's legs a little bit, put the ring through the brad so that there's a leg on each side of the ring, and put through the hole and open the brad on the back so the legs are open. And take your square. I use dimensionals on this. And then center it on your panel. Your paper may vary. Find the holes on this panel and pierce it through. If you have trouble finding the hole, the little holes on the bottom, you can line it up with the other panel and you can kind of guess better where the holes are. Take your eyeglass and decide where you want to put the butterfly. It needs to go a little bit lower than center. Using another dimensional, I placed it on the square. And see how you like it. Take a dimensional and put on the back of the little heart. I wasn't happy with that placement. I moved them down just a little bit more. Then you need to take a ring and put through the ring of the rectangle panel and then through the square panel to attach the two together. And your two panels should be attached. Now I can finish with the embellishments. I took a dimensional and cut in half and placed behind the metal of the top of the glass. And then attach it to the square. Take your little heart and attach that. And because I was afraid it wouldn't quite hold, I took another dimensional and placed under the heart and adhered that to the square. Putting it under the heart, you don't see it. Then put a dimensional on the back of your spool. Fluff your flowers a bit. And using another dimensional, put on the back of your spool. Attach your heart. I used one dimensional on the back of the butterfly and bent up his wings, then adhered him. I saw that there was a little white peeping out of the spool, so I chose to color that with my marker. Again, fluff your flowers a little bit and then attach it to the panel. We forgot to photograph the ribbon. The ribbon is put in from the back side and tied with just an overhand knot. I hope you enjoyed it.